I was like, I'm so sorry guys, blah blah blah, and some people were like, it's okay, you're here now, we'll figure it out. And some people were like, I've been waiting here. Sorry, and they were very grumpy. Hello people of the internet, I'm Jam Games, and today I don't really know what's going on, but a while ago, like 4 weeks ago maybe, I recorded a giant Guns of Icarus collaboration, and I messed up on recording the audio, so I never really put it up or thought of editing or anything. But if you'd like to see it with the audio, a bunch of these guys have it on their channels and they edit it real well and whatever. So I think all their names are on the screen vaguely to what their YouTube names are. So you can go look them up, check them out. But it was really fun. It was crazy and it was fun and whatever. But what am I doing today with you guys right now? Well, I don't know. I just kind of felt like talking and chilling with you guys. So we're experimenting, and I don't know if any of you will be interested. Have any of you even listened this long? I have no idea. But I'm basically just gonna chat with you guys over this gameplay, and you can tell me if it's something you like or want to see again in the future. But I just, felt like chatting. Um, Before I chat about random topics and stuff, I guess I'll chat a little bit about the game and what's happening, and very casually. But this is part of the small gamers. I should really know the name, but you'll find it somewhere with all these guys. The small gamers something. It's like a community, and that's where like a lot of us met each other, and meeting other cool YouTubers, and we got together, planned it on a Monday, and we played together, and I showed up late. I thought it was starting at 6 and it started at 4, so I was like casually on my laptop, and people are like, we're starting now, where are you? Everyone's waiting for you. And I was like, oh shit, oh crap, I'm coming. And I got there and we were using like TeamSpeak instead of Skype, and I didn't really know how to use it, and I was the only person using a Mac, so when the game is open on a Mac, you can't switch between applications, or to my knowledge you can't. So I couldn't like switch to change settings, and I was like, I'm so sorry guys, blah blah blah. And some people were like, it's okay, you're here now, we'll figure it out. And some people were like, I've been waiting here. Sorry, and they were very grumpy. But it was funny. Anyway, we got the game started. I was the captain because I wanted to be. No real like talent to fit in that. I'm sorry. Anyway, the first thing I did was drive into a cloud, which damaged the whole ship, and that pissed off everyone a bit more. Because I didn't know clouds damage the ship. I was just like, ooh, look, a cloud, I can hide in that, be strategical. I'm gonna prove my worth. But anyway, that's what happened. And if you're wondering what's happening with my voice, I'm still sick. I'm recording this the day of XCOM Part 20. So you can go on my channel and look when that went up if it interests you. So that's when this is happening. Because I don't know if I'm ever going to upload this podcast, or if it's going to be a real long time from now. I have no idea. I just feel like talking. Don't know what that says about me, but whatever. Oops. I have some nice hot water and honey. Most people like their tea, but I got my hot water and my honey. And yeah, so anyway, we were getting torn apart, but somehow we stayed alive, and I just kept running. and running, and we were live for like quite a while. And look at the game, like it's a really cool game. You can also, play a game in the background, do your homework, whatever. Because you don't really need to see what's happening on screen, right? I can just be like a consoling voice in the background, showing you the ways of life, guiding you on your journey. Um, okay, let's reorientate the brain, figure out what I want to say. Um, I think I'll just let the game play for a bit. You can keep seeing me. I'm just running and surviving for so long. I have no idea how. Uh, but you're like a sky ship. Starships were meant to fly. You're a ship thingy, a balloon, and there's guns on you, and you're trying to shoot the other balloons down. And with the number of players we had, it worked out that there were 4 teams, so 2 teams are always together, right, working together against the other 2 teams. And I think it's the first one to 5 kills or something like that. The score is in the upper right. You can kind of see it the way the screen is cropped. You kind of can't, whatever. But there's like almost 3 hours of footage of this, and the audio for me was ruined, so wah wah. But it was fun recording and doing this big collab with all these people. And I find that there's been so many awesome people that I've met on YouTube and these different little YouTube gamer communities where I've really wanted to collab with so many people, but I just like the time for schedules and stuff to meet up. It's really tough. So, I don't know. Maybe that's my organization skills. I want to work something out in the future. Maybe I can get that organized one day. Anyway, what should I talk about? Okay, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about XCOM 2 because I think it's coming out in a few months, either this fall or the spring. I forget. But I would really love to play that for the channel because, one, I feel like it'll get more views because it's a brand new game, right? And 2, it'll be something that I think most people are interested in, right? And 3, it'll build off the current XCOM series, which is currently, walking a tightrope. The game's getting so hard. I've only played it once before. I played the full game, but I played it on easy, and I never lost one soldier. And now I've lost like countless soldiers. I'm like struggling financially. The struggle is real, and now there's Exalt because I'm playing with the expansion too, so craziness. But XCOM 2, there's no way I can afford that $80 game. Even if it was $30, I don't think I would buy it. So I've been thinking, and you know what, even if I could afford it, the Mac version will probably come out like 4 months later or whatever, because that's just the way the world works. And who knows if it'll even run, but that's just, something I've been thinking about. And what I'm always thinking about is what'll be watched, I'm very dedicated to, finishing things once I start them. So, like Civilization 5 and XCOM will obviously be continued, right, until they're finished. But I've always, what are people gonna like? I kept Happy Wheels along Happy Wheels Friday because it's kind of a funner thing to record, but also at the start it was really getting more views than all the other videos. And, now interest kind of seems to be dwindling in Happy Wheels, so I don't really know what to do with that. And I still have some people who are like, give me more Happy Wheels videos, more Happy Wheels. And I'm like, oh, look at the playlist while you're waiting for more. So, I don't know what to do with that. There's lots of thinking and stuff. I'm very, okay, I was going to say, I'm a numbers kind of guy, which is absolute BS because I hate math and That is not my thing. But I like I don't I like numbers as in statistics. So I like seeing how the channel is doing. I have like a little notebook where I write things down, and that interests me. I like seeing the growth, even if there's no growth or dislikes or whatever. It's interesting, it's cool, and especially since it's directly related to me, right? Um, why did I start talking about these numbers? What was I relating to? Oh yeah, because of observing video views and all that stuff. And man, I really miss doing a video every single day. And now, especially with my record last week, with the new channel schedule of 3 videos a week, I'm having trouble keeping up with that because university life, I mean, there's all these events and things I'm going to with my friends, and then there's the school work and all the readings I have to do, and then going to class as well. So it's like so busy. And then I'm also cooking my food, I'm doing the dishes, and you know, a lot of people do this in their regular lives, it's not rocket science, but I'm getting adjusted to balancing everything and all that stuff and making sure I eat regular meals. And I don't know where you guys are in life with that. Do you have that like under grasp? Are you still at home? Luckily your parents are making food, you don't have to scramble for that. Last year I was in residence, so food was made for me, but this year I have an apartment, so I have to make my own food. But one thing that came from that, which I really didn't expect, is the dishes. I freaking love doing the dishes. As weird as that may sound. Like the warm water, and I chill. I like put some good music on. I get the hot water running. I get out the soap. It's just like, it's like meditation, Is that weird? Sorry. I'm gonna take a sip. Help my throat. I wonder if like the apartments around me can hear me speaking, and like, do they think I'm on the phone? Do they think I'm mentally ill? Those questions plague me on a daily basis. How long has this been? 12 minutes. And another thing I really wonder is, and this doesn't really show in statistics so much, is how long people are listening to me and how long people are watching videos. How often do people make it to the end of my videos? I really wonder that, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. But like me, when I watch YouTube, I'll make it to the end of so many videos, and they'll say comment or whatever, but I don't. So I know there's got to be some people who watch all the way through who don't comment, and like, it really makes me curious, like, how long are people watching? How long do I hold their interest? Like, who's watching to the end? That really like scratches my mind. Like, are all my views from people just like clicking on my video, watching like 2 minutes and leaving? I wish, if anything on YouTube statistic wise I could know, it could be how long. Like right now we're 13 minutes in. Who's left? Or maybe more than 13 minutes. I don't know. But like, who are you right now? How many of there are you? Can you hear me? Am I alone? And okay, another thing with interaction, I really want to get streaming down. Like live streaming, so I can see your live comments and like talk back to you guys, and verbally abuse anyone who hates upon me. Sorry, I took a sip. Took a little sip. But I really don't think my computer's capable. Right now, all I'm doing is recording audio. And I don't know how it's going to come through after I look at this, but the computer fan is on. Like, recording audio is too much, apparently. So Plus, I'm just afraid of Twitch, like setting streaming up and all that. It's probably more laziness than fear. But I really don't think my computer would be able to handle that. Which is, sad, but it's going to be like that for a long time. And another thing I was thinking about was YouTube streaming. There's current YouTube streaming where I don't know if I have to show something on the screen. Maybe I could do a live podcast. Is that a thing? I don't know. Also, please, if you're here, especially if you're here right now, because you're the people I care about most who are still listening to me talk this far in, like, that's crazy. Um, so if you're here right now, please, like, if you don't want to leave a comment, send me a direct message on Twitter. I think there's direct messaging on YouTube. I don't really know how that works. But if you're smart enough to figure that out, you can do it here. And if you don't care what people see, then you can just leave me a comment. But does this interest you? Do you like hearing me just randomly talk? Oh my god, is that what ramble means? Is the R for random? Sorry. Revelations of an idiot. But yeah, like, I would love to do podcasts and you guys give me topics like gaming news or something. That really interests me. And it's a bit easier on my computer than like a gaming video. So does what I'm doing right now interest you? How have you made it this far in the video? I'm amazed and impressed by you. Yes, you. You. Also, I know that I say this in practically every single video, but it might just go ignored or whatever. But this time I'm making like a direct point because I have unlimited talking time right now. So if you really do like my content, go look at the playlists on my channel. I take time to put them together and make sure they're updated. So if you really like a certain type of video that I do, you can just click the playlist and it'll go through from video to video without you having to click anything. And I really like that because I do. Because I like a lot of YouTube channels, I'll like want to just keep watching their videos automatically instead of going like back to their channel, clicking the next video in order or whatever. And they don't have playlists, so it's always like been a pet peeve of mine. So I've made sure to make them readily available for you guys. So they're there. If you want the content, use them, right? Okay, what's the next topic of conversation going to be in this city university? Let's Google things. Let's Google gaming news. Like, I have very direct things I want to talk about. I just need to be reminded of what I'm interested in. You catch my drift? Do you guys know what Pokemon Go is? I haven't even finished loading up the news, but that came to mind. That the trailer for that recently popped up, and it's going to be one of Nintendo's first mobile games. And if you're not like following news super closely like I do, Nintendo announced a year ago or a few months ago that they were partnering with a mobile game company, and they're going to start putting games on mobile, but they're still going to have like their big dedicated games for console. They're just going to be side games basically, like a Mario Flappy Bird, but not Flappy Bird, but and Pokemon Go is, well, I don't really feel like explaining it, to be honest. But why did I bring it up? Are you guys interested in it? Is that why I bring it up? I feel like I had a specific point to talk about. Oh, you know what we can talk about? Do you think it'll benefit Nintendo and like moving into the mobile market is going to help the company? Because when we're looking at the big console wars and whatever, this generation Nintendo's been doing very poorly with the Wii U. They have just broken 10 million units sold, I think. And Xbox, I think, is around. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Can you hear me? My computer screen just went black. I can see my reflection. I can see my eyes in the mirror. Is the recording gone? We're still recording. It's a Christmas miracle. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so Xbox I think is around like 15 million, and I think PlayStation 4 is about to hit 30 million or something crazy like that. And Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have like 2 years less on the market than the Wii U. So clearly the Wii U has not had a good run. Um, so, and I don't know, there's too many questions in my brain. Uh, Nintendo's had like a financial downfall because of this, but I think it's just in the last year they finally made profit in the quarters. So they're kind of pulling themselves around. But do you think mobile will help them continue this pull around until their next console, which will sell better? Their next console is codenamed NX. Um, and I'm really curious and tentative. I can't imagine the next Nintendo console selling any better than the Wii U. I really can't. And, they have people working for them that are a lot smarter than me, reading into world demographics and what will sell and what won't sell. But I can't see their next console doing as well as it needs to do to compete with the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. But I would love to see that because it's like a third, official competition which makes everyone work harder. Plus, Nintendo games, like for the console installment base, sell better than anyone else. Um, like Nintendo games will be selling as much as like a PS4 game, even though there's way more PS4 consoles. So, could you just imagine the type of sales games would reach if the Nintendo consoles would have more buyers? Like, if the Wii U had sold 30 million units, could you imagine how much more the games would sell? And I like seeing success. I like seeing those big numbers and those record breakers like Grand Theft Auto 5. So, it's interesting times ahead. I really wonder what's going to happen. And you know what I've always thought? I would love to work in the game industry and like work in marketing or like some type of interesting thing like that. Um, Especially like, okay, nobody steal my idea, but I feel like, um, you know, the a lot of people might not know this, but like Hatsumiku or something like that. They're basically um, Japanese pop stars, but they're not people. They're computer animated and they're projections. But they have like best-selling songs, and people go to the concerts to see like these 3D projections, and they're like programmed to dance and all this stuff. Now, I think they're called Vocaloids. I forget. But unless you Google this and see what I'm talking about, it's going to be pretty hard to understand what I'm saying. But that technology, it makes them look so lifelike, And I feel like if someone used that in the gaming industry or the movie industry or anything to promote a game, like imagine being at a conference and Mario walks up on stage, like not someone in a stupid costume, like actual Mario, and he fights it out with somebody, or like for a Pokemon game, if like Lucario walked up on stage, how crazy would that be? And I just have like ideas like this brewing in my mind, but I really know nothing of programming, and I'm absolutely useless with like HTML and all that stuff. And I suck at art, so I don't really see how I would enter the gaming world, and I'm not really going into marketing. I'm going into like political science, right? So I don't think I'll ever really be in that field, but it's really cool and interesting to me. Um, and yeah, and these are things we can go into so much more detail and so much more specifics, and going into Xbox and going into Sony and whatever, or specific indie developers, and the sales and all that. But this is something, if this ever continues and you're still here after 26 minutes, goddamn, that you need to let me know if you're interested. Like, do you like hearing me talk about this? Would you prefer if I talked about like world events or just random things that are happening in my life? I don't know. I can't believe I've almost been talking for half an hour. For me, it feels like I've been here like 2 seconds. Let's think. What else do we want to talk about? I really love, and I think I follow even closer than video games, I love movies. And I follow like how much movies are making on a weekly basis, and the global box office and the American box office so closely. And that interests me like crazy. And so far this summer, the top grossing movies have been Jurassic World #1, which is now the third highest grossing movie of all time, behind Avatar, Titanic, and then it goes Jurassic World. And then there's a really fuzzy thing for third place. The first Avengers movie is or fourth place, sorry. The first Avengers movie is in fourth place, and Fast and Furious 7 is in fifth place. But Fast and Furious 7 was so close to passing the Avengers, and they were still in theaters, so it seemed like common sense that they would have passed them. Um, but it was like, they just stayed there in fifth place, and they couldn't pass the Avengers, and people think like it was hushed up in the press, and the numbers were like forged or something. I don't really know. It's kind of like interesting controversy. But anyway, focusing on this summer, so obviously it goes Jurassic World, Fast and Furious 7, which are both from Universal. Universal has been having a crazy summer. And also, okay, and then third for the summer is the Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, which, was kind of a flop. And I've heard people call it a flop on, YouTube videos, and all the comments are like, oh my god, it made $1 billion something dollars. How can you call that a flop? You're crazy. And, I think those are a little bit of Marvel fanboys. And I'm like Team Marvel over DC, but I can look at it objectively, as in it made less money than the first Avengers, and even then, without having to pass the first Avengers, it could have made more money. It's the second movie. It's supposed to build on the momentum of the first, not kind of fall short. So, I feel like it could have done more. And then I think fourth for the summer is the Minions movie, which did like crazy well. I kind of saw it as, the Penguins movie for Madagascar, but with a bit more of a guarantee. So for the Madagascar franchise, they made a Penguins movie, which is like a spin-off, right? And that did okay money, I think. And then for the Despicable Me franchise, they have the Minions spin-off. And the Minions did so well, better than any Despicable Me movie, which is like surprised the hell out of me. And that's another Universal movie. And then they also had 50 Shades of Grey and some other stuff. So Universal is like killing it this summer, which is like what? When did Universal kill it before? It's always been like Disney and Warner Brothers as the top two grossing companies, right? So, it's like out of left field from Universal, which I think is cool. It's good to shake it up. And then also, speaking of movies happening this year, we still have The Hunger Games, the final movie coming, which I'm really interested to see how that does because the third one made less money than the second one. So this is the fourth and final one, so I think it'll make more money than the third one, but like will it? I think it'll either be kind of like an acceptable movie haul where it'll make a little bit less money than the second one, or it's going to do incredibly well and make a lot more money than the second one. I don't really know. But the third one, I don't know if it made less money than the first one. I think it made more. But the third one was my favorite. I really liked it. But audience didn't love it. There wasn't enough action, apparently. I liked, kind of the political angle and whatever. But yeah, that's enough talk about the Hunger Games. Goddamn. And the really big thing that we're all looking at, I'm sure, is the next Star Wars Episode 7. Man, I should know what it's called. The Force. It's called like The Force something, or The Force is Back. It's obviously classier than that, but you get the drift. But that, like, a lot of people think it's going to be the biggest grossing movie of all time. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But the thing is, which I'm pretty certain of, if it makes under $2 billion, it will be a disappointment. Like, not a failure. I don't think it can fail. But it will be a disappointment, I think, to the industry, or at least for Disney and Star Wars and Lucasfilm. Disney owns Star Wars now, if you haven't caught up with that knowledge. And it's really exciting. I'm going to get side. Let's finish the financials. I want to see Star Wars hit like past Titanic and Avatar, and I just want to see it like make the $3 billion club. I want to see it just shatter everything. Because it's cool when you're alive and you're witnessing like these record-breaking, sales and stuff. But oh yeah, I think it's so impressive and like such a powerhouse from Disney. Opening, there's going to be a new Star Wars movie every single year, and it's going to go 7 spin-off, 8 spin-off, 9 spin-off, 10 spin-off, right? So there's always going to be a main movie one year and then a spin-off the next year, and so on and so forth, right? And it'll be really interesting to see if any of the spin-offs make more money than the main movies, like we saw with Minions, kind of. And just, it's cool stuff happening. And the power of Disney, like, to invest all that money, like, I think the spin-off is almost done filming, and it's coming out in 2016, and they're already filming the 8th Star Wars movie, and, like, all the directors are picked until the 9th movie, and the scripts are written, and all, like, that money, that coordination, that investment, that blows me away. And that's really interesting to me, that a company has so much power to plan all these, like, multi-million-dollar investments and pull all the strings and align everything correctly so it happens and it falls together. It's just, it's really interesting. It blows me away, kind of. But yeah, I think that's enough for movies for now. And just like if you're still here, 35 minutes, wow! But just like talking about video games, if you like movies and you want to hear more about that, let me know. Contact me anyway. And, it doesn't have to be movies or video games. We could talk about plants. I mean, I don't really know much about plants, but I can Google them for you. We can talk about all types of random things. I would love to have a jellyfish tank. There's random for you. And I think there was a Kickstarter project where they had like this little round jellyfish tank and you could have like 2 jellyfish in them. That would be really cool. In grade 10, I think, I I made like a little biodome. And I had this glass jar. I put dirt and seaweed kind of in the bottom, and I bought 2 shrimps at the pet store and I put the shrimps in it, and then I put a lid on it and it looked like really cool and the shrimps were like living. I think the shrimps lived for like 6 months. They died, their bodies like disappeared in the plants. There were like tons of snails. Like, where did the snails come from? I never put a snail in there. It's a sealed environment. But somehow snails just magically appear, which is so cool. There was like hundreds of snails, and then the snails faded away, but the plants were still growing, and it was cool. It was really cool. And it cost me like $60, where at the time I was like, I did not know this would cost so much. What the hell am I doing with my money? But it was worth it. It was really cool. Anyway, I don't know. I was just, letting you know that I'll talk about anything, any random thing. But, my throat's getting a little sore. I want to just chug my drink for a little bit. And I think 36 minutes, and probably by the time I finish rambling about nothingness, 40 minutes is a good amount, right? And if you're still here and you want more, wow, let me know down below. Yeah, kind of like a cool little experiment. I still have lots of gameplay if you want to see more of this gameplay, or if you want a different type of game. And maybe I should have been paying more attention to the gameplay and talking about what was happening and how terrible our team was doing, although we did good at some point. One time we did good. And talking a little bit more about how I pissed everyone off because I was late, and that kind of made me laugh and it made them angry, and how unprofessional of me. Anyway, I have early classes tomorrow. It's getting late. I need my rest because I should have gone to bed instead of recording this podcast. But I do random impulsive things in my life, so here's one of them. We'll see how it turns out. 0 views. Okay, I don't really want to end. I just want to keep saying random things, but at this point, I'm wasting your goddamn time. I'm boring your goddamn mind. Na 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 na. I didn't have no words to rhyme. Okay, a conclusion. Final paragraph. Thinking. Like my schedule. Monday XCOM, Wednesday Civilization 5, Friday Happy Wheels, and then maybe some extra random videos like this if I ever upload this. And always tell me what you want, even if you want like a drastic change of the schedule. Even if you want me to stop doing YouTube, tell me anything. All your dreams and hopes and how your parents ruined your life. And yeah, and I'm always here. I'll always answer. But I mean, how many times have I said that in this little podcast thingy? And I guess that's it. That's all for today. Keep it jammin' as always. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd